Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here. Welcome to the official episode 1 of season 2 of the Barely Touched Him podcast. I am your host, Ben Reed, joined by my co-host, Corey Coreyson. How are you, mate?
Hello, Benry. And look, let me tell you, as the march of time presses ever closer to the inevitable dawn of the football season, I'm increasingly filled with joy and excitement.
A bit of arousal as well, perhaps.
A little bit.
We were also going to have our dear friend Monty here, but Monty is a dad now. So
he's laid out. We've got the microphone, as you can see on the video, set up here, but no Monty.
His baby is upset. She's kicking up a bit of a fuss. We're not angry at the baby. I just want to put that out there right now. It's not the baby's fault for being a baby.
No.
It possibly is Monty's fault for having a baby.
Yes.
But, you know, these things happen.
Had
Sometimes
he practiced safe sex, we wouldn't be in this
situation. So maybe he's a Catholic. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, footy news is starting to ramp up as we edge towards the first pre-season games. And I've got a few, news items here that we can slowly drip feed into the start of this podcast. Number one I've got is mid-season trading is going to be pretty much all but confirmed for next year. So 2025 season, we're going to have mid-season trades. We're going to have a trade window, Continental Tires extravaganza. What are your thoughts?
I don't love it. I don't love it.
Why?
And I think they were pressing to have it this season, but couldn't get it over the line by the deadline, which was sometime in December, I think. I don't love it. Get it sorted before the season. I don't love this. How it will favour the larger clubs, or the more powerful clubs.
It will also favour Victorian clubs.
It especially favour Victoria because there'll be a lot more movement between Melbourne clubs when you just have to go across the road, essentially,
Yes.
rather than 3,500 kilometres to lovely Perth.
These are all great points, especially that it is heavily weighted to favour the Melbourne clubs because there's fucking 12 of them.
Yes.
But I'm for it. Because I want the drama.
Yeah,
I want us to be more like American sports.
There'll be so much drama.
There's going to be so much drama.
Yeah.
I love trade radio. I love the ads. I love Damien Barrett. I
twice as
don't.
much.
I love Kane Corns talking about trades. Just give it to me.
Fuck.
And I think ruck roulette is always what's going to happen in these sorts of situations because
Yes.
the teammate's going to be injured and down a couple of rucks. They're going to be trading for this stuff. But imagine, like, if I were to paint you a hypothetical mid-season trade, say, like, Richmond somehow are making a charge for finals this year. They're probably not going to. Everyone's picking them to finish bottom 4. Say they're on 9th. They want to stop being 9th when they're like, all right, we've got to make some aggressive moves in 2025 mid-season here. And they pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
They cut through all the red tape and they sign like a Jack McRae or something like that. Imagine how juicy it would be.
But it's I worry that clubs will gamble and the gamble won't pay off and it will leave them in a uncompetitive position for the following season. And I don't like it when teams aren't competitive.
I think it's good for content when teams aren't competitive because we can tease them. And, maybe that's good for what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Another one in the AFL news department here is the AFL is set to add a second ARC supervisor to the booth, to the ARC centre. For the score reviews, for the goal reviews. Now, this is after a direct response to the Adelaide Crows debacle. We all know what happened.
Debacle.
You all know. All I needed to say was Adelaide Crows, and we know what happened. But, Corey, walk us through it. What happened?
Well, from memory, it was a similar. Was it not a similar situation to the Tom Lynch one that went over the? Straight over the goalpost, but far more egregious.
It was Ben Keys, presumably kicking the winning goal.
Yes.
What essentially was the winning goal. And it was sort of a low trajectory snap kick.
Oh,
and
that's right. I'm thinking of the wrong one. Yeah,
and the umpire has called it hitting the post. He thought it skimmed the post on the way through. That was the umpire's call.
Very clearly didn't.
It very clearly didn't hit the post, and you can see it like clear as day on the replays.
A couple of different angles.
But the goal umpire didn't call for a review immediately, and Sydney played on quickly from the free kick. This is dying stage of the game. Ben Keys is off celebrating like he's just kicked the biggest goal of his life, which he has.
Probably was.
It actually would have been the biggest goal of his life. And then there was no score review. It was a huge debacle. Arc system.
Very good.
And
Very
now
good. I'm glad you
now
jammed
they're
that
going,
one down my throat.
in order to fix this, we're just adding another bloke into the chamber.
Yeah.
Now, Laura Kane, who is the new AFL, I forget her title. She is like the head of football operations.
Yep.
She's the rules person, I guess. She was having a press conference about this, and there was a quote, and I'm paraphrasing her a little bit here, but she said, I've been going around, this is my Laura Kane impression, it's great to be here. I've been going around looking at other sports around the world. I looked at some tennis, I looked at some soccer and all that, and cricket, and they've got great review systems, but they're all on rectangles. They're on straight lines where we've got an oval field. So
it's not that hard.
It's quite harder. It's harder to do. The goal line is not oval shaped. The goal line is straight. I'll say that. You're making it seem. What she's doing is gaslighting us. Bless you, Corey. She's gaslighting us for wanting better technology with our goal line.
Yeah, well, the second person's going to be immediately redundant because the AFL's ramped up their drive for a smart football.
They're putting chips in it now.
Yeah,
they're putting the microchips.
The VFL this year and possibly the Waffle are going to be running the chipped balls.
Wow.
So that's a year ahead of schedule. It's a cause that's been championed by Eddie Maguire. He's invested a lot of his own money into it.
Occasionally, Eddie gets it right.
Yeah. They're trialing these balls for the full season in not just the VFL and Waffle, but even lower leagues like grade leagues and stuff, with an eye on introducing them to the main competition next year.
Yeah, so this is. I remember you sent me a video of these balls working, and it is like Hawkeye. When you see the footage of a goal review, it's like a computer generated environment.
But also live as a player kicks a goal, as it goes through. If you're watching on the telly or even on the screens in the stadium, it will have a vision, like an overlaid vision of the goal that will say that's a goal.
That is sexy.
Behind. So you immediately know. So there's no review necessary.
Well, hopefully we get there sooner rather than later because it looks so shit when a complete non-call like that is.
And that's the thing.
It costs Crom. It costs Crom the fine.
That lady in the quote.
Laura Kane.
Laura Kane. I respect her.
Oh, we respect women. We absolutely respect women. I'm not mad at her because she's a woman. I'm mad because we're being gaslit by a woman, Corey.
In that quote,
not the first time.
In that quote or paraphrase section that you said, she said that she's gone around the world to review other sports. I mean, they all have chipped balls.
Yeah.
So, why isn't she just leading with that? Like, we're chipping the ball.
Because they don't want to spend the money on it. Which brings me to my next news article. I've got a beautiful segue here. The AFL has reported a surplus of the money that they made in 2023 of $27.7 million, up from $20 million, 20.7, sorry, in 2022. So the surplus has increased
Not
nearly
a bad chunk of
from
change.
by $7 million. And there was an article I read. It was in the Australian. I didn't look at it in the paywall. It was someone on the AFL subreddit that copy pasted the whole article. Thank you to whoever that was, you king. I'm not paying for the Australian or any newspaper.
No.
What do you think I am? But the executives were paid $13.6 million in 2023. Now, as far as I can tell, the AFL executives, there's 10 of them. Now, that's after me very quickly, Googling how many AFL executives are there and reading an article.
Let's say there's
adding
a
it up in
dozen.
my head. Let's say there's a dozen. So they're getting $1 million a season each. Does an AFL executive deserve $1 million salary?
And they're probably not getting $1 million each. Some of them are probably getting $500,000, and some of them are probably getting
1.8.
Yeah, this is on the book stuff. Look, you got to imagine there's some other things happening.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How many millions was the surplus, by the way?
27.7.
Okay, yeah. So that should be zero.
The surplus should be
It should
zero.
be zero.
They're a not-for-profit, aren't they? The AFL is a not-for-profit.
Well, they're similar to a religion.
It should be run by the state.
Yes.
Yes.
So in our already pitched system for the future, there wouldn't be a surplus. All of the money would be directly already going straight back in.
Back to the club
Closed
staff,
circuit.
back to the workers in the AFL, not the executives, if you're asking this humble guy. I think, the AFL executives, it should be like a job that you do on the
You know
side.
what? If there's
you know?
27 million extra next year, make the tickets cheaper.
Yeah, how about that?
Make the
How about that?
Make the chips cheaper, mate.
Make the chips cheaper.
The chips
Make
shouldn't be $15.
Get full strength beer at Optus Stadium.
I'm not
How
paying
about
for
that?
sauce.
How about you pay for sauce? I actually don't get sauce on my pies. I'm a bareback pie operator.
Truth be told, I don't pay for a lot when I go to the stadium.
Have you stolen a pie from the stadium?
Yeah,
How
100%.
easy would it be?
Well, in a quarter time break,
Yeah.
when there's 1,000 people in one vending area, all crammed up against each other,
It's
waiting.
bedlam.
What are you going to do?
Yeah,
You
they're not
just-
going to stop you.
You just
No.
grab the stuff and you just walk out. It's that easy.
You know what? I'm going to try it. No, I'm not going to try it. But every time you go to the counter at Optus Stadium, it is a child serving you. It
Yes.
is, and the security guy, he looks disinterested. He's got the energy of a JB Hi-Fi security guard who doesn't even want to check your docket. He's just like,
Well,
fucking walk through, mate.
last time I went to the football with you, I tried to sweet talk the 17-year-old girl that was working there.
Careful now, Corey.
Well,
Careful
not
now.
in that way.
Not in that way.
But I tried to.
He tried to get free stuff out of
I
it.
tried to explain to her that I knew the supervisor, Trent, and I was instructed.
Did you know the supervisor, Trent? No. Have you made up Trent?
I said, old mate said to tell you that I could get the employee discount because I'm mates with him. And she was like, who? I was like, Trent.
Trent. He's in HR.
I don't know a Trent. And she's gone to pick up the phone. I'm like, you don't need to. You don't need to call up there. I'll just pay.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You've crumbled. You've crumbled immediately. Yeah, I would go with a more generic name than Trent. I'd go like Matt.
Yeah.
Something statistically it's going to hit the areas. But that's just the sort of premium theft advice you're going to get here on the Barely Touched Him podcast.
27 million, too much.
Just walk out with it. 27.7 million is too much. Have you got any footy news there that you've jotted down,
No,
Corey?
it's been light for me. All of the footy
Yes.
stuff that I've got is wild speculation. I did put
Bring on the speculation
I
then.
did put a post up on Reddit during the week for the hottest preseason rumours.
Oh, we love the rumour mill.
Unexpected position changes, radical gameplay shifts. What are the rumblings at your club?
And shout out to the peeps on the AFL subreddit. We do love them.
They are very good. Reddit can be a bit of a hellhole for just very odd characters.
A lot of pro-Israel types on Reddit. A lot of people just ravenous for Palestinian
but
blood.
the AFL subreddit is very good.
They are.
And they've the Collingwood subreddit as well. If anyone's listening from there, they've been very gracious.
Shouts
to
out.
us in the last year. Now a lot of these are run-of-the-mill jokes. Rumor has it Scott Pendlebury has a basketball background. Very good.
The
very
tried
good
and
gear
tested
there.
classic, very good.
Bolter is going to be playing full forward for the Tigers, but he's got such a peg on him. He's just going to play the position from the centre of the ground and roost him in from 70 all season long.
Oh, Noah Bolter is a huge man, though.
very
I
good.
can actually see that happening.
Absolutely
a bit of
no news out of the Demons camp regarding any rumours or anything. No, sir, none whatsoever.
We did touch on Clayton Oliver in episode 0. Some lady needs to snatch him up and rein him
it was
in.
quite a serious and intricate response from an Essendon fan here. I think he's been down to some of their pre-season training.
And he's an Essendon fan. He would have he's been through a
their
lot.
year.
He's been through a lot, but it is their year.
I've been seeing a lot. How is their year? And it never fails.
It's almost
never
like,
fails to make me laugh.
It's almost like we see this every year. But I believe it now. I'm buying into it because the more I
know it's
the
not
more
gonna
I
be their
no,
year.
no. I think it's their year. I think it is Essendon's year. Finally, I'm feeling it. I can truly see Essendon finishing like fifth.
We've got a good breakdown from user Monotone Ramos here, so thank you, Monotone Ramos. Essendon doesn't have any massive preseason news, which is probably a good thing for once. A quick rundown based on media and training watching reports would be Nick Martin transitioning to halfback, appearing to play as a Dacos-style halfback role.
Love that for him. Love that for him.
He still looks like a nerd, though, but, he'll get over
Some of the best footballers do.
Jade Gresham has been the standout for our new recruits. He's been impressing training watchers nearly every session.
Yeah, Gresham's an interesting one because he was sort of middling at St Kilda as that half-forward mid-type.
But, I mean, they tend to do that, don't they? When they switch clubs, they put it all into the preseason, turning over a new leaf, as it were. And let's see how he goes. Zach Reed has had a full preseason to date, touch wood, and has apparently looked very good. Could be a round one chance. Darcy Parish's kicking has apparently notably improved after doing extra work with David Rath, the biomechanics expert that was with the Hawks during their three-peat.
Biomechanics expert.
Rath was not just with them. Rath is like quite a big player in the specialised coaching world of the AFL. He's been with other teams. Satas has also been working with Rath frequently, but
Elijah
results
Satas, yes.
not yet as
that's
apparent.
some really in-depth Essendon rumours. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, so another Essendon fan is claiming that David Rath is the biggest signing that Essendon's had.
Okay,
none of their players.
What you're telling me is that Essendon...
Could be their year.
It could be their year. It could be their year. Ladies and gentlemen, open sports bet. Next rumour.
This is a Sydney Swans fan. Maximum Insanity.
I like it.
Will Green looks really good in his first pre-season to the point where he's probably got the number 2 ruck job over Laddams.
Who's Will Green?
Don't know.
I have no idea who Will Green
but he's
is.
the number 2 ruck.
You know what he sounds like? A boy.
He does.
He sounds like a boy.
That.
We should look into Will Green. Adopt your boy.
Matt Roberts
watch
to
this
halfback
space.
has been a roaring success. He might crack a round 0 spot.
Okay.
That's it for the.
Too spicy.
For the
This is good fantasy team info as well, because if you've got an underpriced guy that is not, looking, you're not looking to be too expensive and. Round one could be a lock.
This is a huge rumour here out of the Bulldogs. Caleb Daniel is just 1.2 kids in a trench coat. Beautiful.
Not 2 kids, because they'd be too tall to be Caleb Daniel. 1.2 children. So it's a full-size child and some sort of deformed child that's 0.2 of one.
I'm reticent to... I don't know if I've used that word right. I'm reticent to read this one out because this is some gear that I'm going to be running this year.
Okay, all right.
Not my club, but super coaches might find this interesting. Hayden Young and Sam Flanders, my boy from last year, as full-time midfielders, really exciting stuff.
Yes.
They're in for a huge season. Also, Fife being in the guts again gives me hope we could see some sort of form to end his career. Unlikely on Fife.
I'll believe the Fife one when I see it. I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, Sammy Flanders and Hayden Young. Hayden Young absolutely is going to get more time in the guts. We saw previews of that.
There's many, many more of these, but I'll finish with this one because it is a Collingwood one, and we are a Collingwood adjacent podcast.
Adjacent.
All this says is this is from Memories of McHale. That's probably in reference to Jock McHale, you would think. Collingwood. Number 1, Finn McRae to play senior football. I think that's a given.
Yeah, he's gonna get more games this year for sure.
This is huge. When I saw this one, I thought, oh my Lord.
I'm ready.
Number 2, Jamie Elliott moves to halfback so he can stop clutch moments instead of make them.
No way. I don't believe that for a second. Keep in mind,
neither do I.
I'm not right across our positional lineup in the preseason scratch matches. But we already have too many blokes who can play halfback. Like Johnny Noble couldn't get a game off a halfback in the finals. No. We're not going to chuck Jamie Elliott back there. Give me a spell.
We got some more. Number 3, Josh Eyre, a likely signature. I guess he's train on.
Yeah, okay, yes, extra list spots.
Lockie Sullivan probably to join him, so that's two train-ons. Okay. McStay not ruled out for the season.
So he'll come back on the back end.
Yeah. If Sam Sofronides is not signed, increasingly likely he will play VFL, but not for an AFL. Okay, so Sam
I
Sofronides
understand
is
he's
out.
quite a gun, Sofronides, but I don't know much about it. I just know he's Greek, presumably.
Yeah, we do like the Greeks.
Are there any Greek AFL players? Are there any Greeks out there?
There
was
was,
obviously
in the
Kuda.
90s.
There was Kuda.
Yeah. There was a few. There was a few more.
Demetrio Greek or he's Italian?
Yeah,
Or
he's
was it?
Greek.
He's Mediterranean of some
Yeah,
kind.
some all those ones.
Well, there's
are
so
the
many
same.
Italian players. I don't know if there's Greeks. You know,
It's all the same, isn't it?
well, there's Macedonians.
Macedonians,
You
yeah.
can't call a Macedonian a Greek.
Yeah.
I was actually doing a gig the other day. This is my actual job. I'm a sound guy. I was doing a corporate gig in a park for this, and there was a Macedonian birthday happening. And my God, these people were loud. And I'm trying to
They
do
are very
I'm trying to
loud.
do my sound checks and test microphones and all that. And they brought their Bluetooth speaker to their little Macedonian birthday shindig, which was presumably for an infant. I think it was for a baby. And they just started playing hell loud Macedonian music and doing the line and dancing and doing the Macedonian
See, I love
can-can. I was like, oh, yeah, like if
get
I
in.
wasn't working and trying to
get
do
in.
shit,
I'd
I
get
would
in.
love it. But I was like, come on, guys, come on here.
Now, should we move on to away from footy news and into the biggest sports story of the week?
This could be many things, but yes, I'm guessing you're going to be talking about the American football.
The American Sports Bowl. The Super Bowl went down the LVC 111 or whichever
Is
one
that
it is.
60? What I don't know Roman numerals.
I don't know.
Super Bowl, many Super Bowls.
Super Bowl. Several.
Yes.
Obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, the Kansas City Chiefs were the victors 27-25 over the
Yep.
San Francisco 49ers, who managed to choke it quite hard.
In overtime. Now, I'm
Yes.
going to be honest with you, dear listeners. I did not watch a second of this game.
I
I did
watched
not
it.
watch a second.
I watched it. The first half, pretty like, what am I doing? I want this
Yep.
to be over. Second half, very exciting.
Yeah, okay, all
Very
right.
good. It took them a while to get going. The first half was just watching each team make a series of errors, which was not that great. They both had about one or two good plays for the entire first half. Because second half was quite electric. Quite
Okay.
electric. The run was clearly with the Chiefs going as the clock wound down. Everyone very confused about the overtime, myself included.
Yeah, so it goes to overtime and you have another coin flip.
Yes.
From what I understand,
Yes, but the rules
as to
have
whether you
changed.
kick off or receive.
Yep. So
Go on.
the rules have apparently changed since the overtime rules of last year. And the 49ers players are now claiming they didn't fully understand them, as did a lot of the viewers. As did not a lot of the viewers as well. Because there is some weird stipulations as to what happens when the clock is running down to zero at the end of overtime.
Yep.
And it actually checks out that they didn't know, because the way that they were playing or allowing the Chiefs to play as it was ticking down to zero didn't really make much sense. Just letting them go.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I digress. They lost. They are bad.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs win it.
They have brought dishonour and shame to themselves and their families. Now what I want to talk about
Taylor
is
Swift?
No, the halftime show.
Oh, Usher.
Usher. Now, when I first found out that Usher was
No,
the
I wasn't excited.
artist, I wasn't excited either. I was like, oh yeah, yeah is a banger. Caught Up is a banger. And then I was like,
Confessions.
what? Yeah, Confessions goes all right. And I'm looking at the This Is Usher on Spotify. What are his?
There's a lot.
I'm going through. I'm like, I don't know this song. I
Yeah.
don't know this song. Is he going to be able to follow Rihanna or like Eminem and Dr. Dre?
The LA one was insane.
And I tell you what, I think he killed it. He
Listen,
knocked it out of the park.
it
I thought
started
this
poorly.
show. No, I thought it was great.
Nah, I thought it started really poorly. I was like, oh, this is going to be shit.
No, what was
least-
bad about it?
I just didn't like it.
No,
And
he fucking killed it.
Alicia Keys came out and was like, oh, this is good. And then he was ramping up and up and up. Then it got to the point where Little John's there. I'm like, this is going off.
Yeah, it
This
was
is
popping
go-
off.
this
No,
is going off.
I disagree. I think from start to finish, like he came out in the all white, hit the choreography popping and
Lot of
locking.
dancing.
Absolutely locked in. You can tell he's singing live as well
Yeah, he
because
was.
he's having to miss words tactically
Yep.
to breathe and hit this very cardio-demanding choreography.
He was dancing non-stop.
He was dancing non-stop for like 27 minutes.
The backup dancers at one point got the roller skates on.
Yeah, he
and
got
I've-
on roller skates.
I've thought to myself, wow, this is a bold move for the backup dancers to be on roller skates. And then Usher had been off the stage for 15 seconds, and then he appears in the roller skates.
in some sort of
I couldn't
Spy
believe it.
Kids 3 armor
Definitely
outfit.
Spy
It was
Kids
so
3,
Spy
yeah.
Kids 3 with the shoulder pads in the roller skates.
He starts rolling around. He slides through the legs of, I think it was Ludacris or
Yes.
Little John.
Ludacris killed it as
Yeah,
well.
Ludacris
Ludacris
is
came out
great.
absolutely with
Yeah.
the afro as well.
Yeah.
Love that for him.
You just know somewhere that what's his name, the guy that did Fire Festival.
Ja Rule.
You just know that somewhere Ja Rule is watching that going,
I fucking hate this guy.
He
you took
hate-
everything from
he
me.
hates Ludacris.
Well, somewhere also Vin Diesel is
Do you
like
know,
smiling
do you
on
know
and
the
going.
story behind that?
You did. You've told me
The
before.
Fast and the
yes,
Furious
where
thing? Insane.
Ja Rule.
He was in the first Fast and Furious movie.
He was in the first two, I thought.
Just
Or-
the first one.
Just the first one.
And he was
then
supposed to be in all,
replaced.
he was
yeah.
supposed to be in all of them, but he nickel and dimed the contract, and they said to him, "Okay, well, you're out." And
Yeah.
they got Ludacris, and Ludacris has made $1 billion.
And
from that
Ludacris
franchise.
is not a great actor, but he's fucking better than Ja Rule was. Because you look at
You know
watch,
what Ludacris did? He shut up and he took the money.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Luda. He also, you look at Fast and Furious 1 and Ja Rule's acting non-ability.
Very bad.
He delivers every line with the voice that he raps in, which is very boomy and loud. So it'd
But
be
also-
like, hey, yo, Dom! Like there's no
He puts-
cadence shift from that.
He was putting the intonation on the wrong parts
Yeah.
of words as well. It's like you're making the script not make sense.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
The script is already dog
Like
shit for Fast and the Furious
how many
anyway.
takes did they have to do for the one that went into the movie to be that?
Yeah. He crashed and burned harder than Paul Walker, you might say.
Oh, good lord!
Moving
too
on,
soon.
the
So-
Taylor Swift sort of schmozzle we can talk about.
They only cut to Taylor Swift about 37 times during the game, so
Yep.
that was good.
Yep.
Strangely enough, every time they cut to her, she was standing next to a different celebrity, which is weird.
Yeah, I know
There was
Blake Lively was next to
Lana
her.
Del Rey at
Lana
one
Del
point.
Rey, Ice Spice.
Which I still don't know.
I don't know what
I'm not
her-
really sure.
I don't
what
think I've
her
heard an
deal
Ice
is.
Spice song. I think she's a sort of Cardi B type.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
don't
I'm
know.
describing a footballer.
It's very
She's a Nick
weird.
Dacos type, you know.
I-
she runs off a half back. She's very fast.
One of those people where
She's
you
a
know,
Caleb Daniel.
I
She's
feel-
very small.
I feel offended that I even know who it is, but every time I see her, I can't stop looking at her. There's something about her. I think it's the hair.
It's the hair, and it's also like she looks like Drake's son. You know how Drake knocked up a porn star,
Yes.
and he had a son that looked like Napoleon Dynamite because it's like he's sort of Drake's not super dark skinned, but this kid is even more light skinned than Drake, and he's got an afro. Ice Spice looks like Drake's son has come back from the future.
Love it.
To be like, Dad, you got to fix your shit. You got to stop making bad music. So
But she was there. Oh,
She's come in the
Taylor.
DeLorean, hit the Super Bowl, and said, "Taylor, you got to."
The NFL executives would be rubbing their greasy little mitts together with the success of this campaign, having the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing. It was the most watched sporting event in US history.
Jesus Christ.
123 million people tuned in inside the US. And what's their population? 320 million?
Something like that, yeah. So like,
it's a bit over a third of their population.
That
which
is incredible.
Crazy.
That
And
is
there'd
incredible.
There'd be another 100 million or hundreds of millions worldwide. You would suspect. Yeah, absolutely crazy numbers. Interesting. Some other interesting numbers. NFL, a lot of downtime. So the game started at about 7:40 a.m. our time.
Brutal.
It finished just before lunch, which is just.
for not a lot actually happening.
No.
Yeah,
No,
clock
no.
is just
the
always
average-
running with nothing actually going on.
The average NFL game, I remember reading, the actual play time is like 11 minutes or something
Yep.
like that. But 11 minutes, we'll keep that number in mind because the quarterback from the 49ers, what's his name again? Purdy. Brock
Purdy.
Brock Purdy. So he was picked up in like the 7th round in the draft. He was an absolute nobody. a bit of a gun.
Yeah,
He
okay,
was good.
all right,
He was
okay.
making some good plays, but his salary, I think the NFL is similar to the MLB in that when you come into the league, you have a set maximum, and it's not very high. It's only like 1.5 million or something.
Yeah.
The amount of time that other players have to play to earn his salary was shocking. Mahomes, 16 minutes.
Oh, God. But Mahomes is the guy. Mahomes is the guy. How
Mahomes-
much is he on? He's like...
$500 million. He's on $500 million.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh.
And it was actually quite an interesting matchup because he's the most expensive quarterback in the league, and people say that he's one of the best quarterbacks to ever live.
Yeah, it's like he's just under Brady.
He's insane. But the 49ers have got the most expensive defensive line in the league. They pumped like most of their cap into their defensive line.
Yeah,
so it was interesting to see the best quarterback, quotation marks, against the best defensive line.
Yeah, okay. I like the matchup.
Yeah, the only thing that really got them in the end was they were very tired. The 49ers defensive line was spending a lot of time on.
Yeah.
And you could see that they were getting fatigued.
Yeah,
And
a lot
they
of
just
beef
got-
out there. It would be very hard to be, a 270-pound man in that defensive linebacker position,
Shouts
doing those
out.
repeated sprints.
Shouts out to Wisnowski, the
Wisnowski.
Perth's own punter
Oh,
for the
yes,
49ers.
yeah, very nice.
Incredible. He did about 7-8 punts.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Fuck yeah.
Perfect. Every
We love-
time. And it was the Australian broadcast, so every time he punt the ball, they were hamming it up, like how good he is.
Of course.
But they were legitimately great. Like,
Oh, yeah,
he couldn't have kicked it any better.
It's the dream. It's literally the dream to be an NFL punter.
That's great for him. So his worth, the trade worth and whatnot will undoubtedly go up. So
Yes.
get the bag, King.
Get the bag, King. I've got a. You got any more on the Super Bowl? Sorry,
Just
You got
one more thing.
One more thing. Yeah.
The Nickelodeon stream.
I
Did you
saw
see
a
this?
clip of this. I saw the slime in the end zone.
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
They had a color guy who was an actual NFL dude, but the main commentating crew was some guy I'd never heard of, and legitimately SpongeBob SquarePants and Patrick Star
Oh yes.
doing the play-by-plays. Right, and
That's
then,
fantastic.
And then down on the boundary, they had Dora the Explorer.
Oh, what the hell? This is. Why can't the AFL do shit like
it was
this?
fucking great.
That's so
the
good.
layout of the screen, it was fucking amazing. I only got to see bits and pieces of it because the stream I found was a bit delayed. But Dora the Explorer packed on some absolute heat at one point in a perfectly innocent. Dora the Explorer voice offered, suggested that I can't remember which team it was, but they could use her map that she uses to find the end zone to score.
Oh wow, that is brutal.
So Dora the Explorer firing heat.
I wonder who the Australian equivalent would be if we were to do like old
you have
cartoon
to get
characters.
Bluey.
You have to get
'cause he's
Bluey,
so massive.
Blinky Bill up on the play-by-play.
Just quickly on that, because I don't have kids, nor do you.
No, I have a cavoodle.
We forget or don't quite understand the reach of Bluey.
It's huge.
It is massive.
Yeah, the Americans love Bluey.
Well, apparently there's a thing going on where a lot of kids in America are developing Australian accents.
That's
because they're watching
It's
Bluey.
about damn time.
Which is
it's
insane.
about time. They're going to grow up and watch AFL as well. They're going to start watching it.
That's all I've got on the Super Bowl.
I've got to transition into another huge sporting event that is coming to Perth very, very soon. I'm going to be up there in the nosebleed sections.
beautiful.
WWE Elimination Chamber is coming to Perth. Now, you are not a huge wrestling fan, Corey. You're not up to date.
No, let's start from the start. I have spent a few hours in the past week. I said to myself, the boys in the group chat, all they're fucking talking about is this fucking wrestling. You used to like wrestling when you were a young chap.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
You know why? Because wrestling is fucking mad. Wrestling is sick.
At points, to me, it still is very good. But
Yes.
I've spent a couple of hours. I was mostly looking at like old school history and stuff. But I looked at the current stuff. I tried to get up to date on the lore, the storylines and everything.
Yes.
fell flat on me. Did not love it. Did not love it at
you're
all.
kind of you're coming in right at the end, which is the
Of this
issue here.
storyline, yep.
But also, I had about a 1.5 year period where I watched none of the content. This was after COVID. 2020 hits and you can't have crowds in wrestling anymore. What's the fucking point? So I just stopped watching it because it was too weird. But from 2016 to 2020, I was
good.
right into it. I was deep. It was really good. Now, you have to talk about Roman Reigns if you're going to talk about what the WWE is now. Roman Reigns, ladies and gentlemen, is the dominant champion. He currently holds the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. It's the big belt. It's the big title.
So he started as a face and then turned heel.
He started as a baby face, but it was a bad baby face. It was clear that the WWE, this is back in 2016, 2015, maybe even earlier than this. It's been a long time. WWE were pushing Roman Reigns to be the top guy, the top good guy that everybody cheers. They wanted him to be the next John Cena, Hulk Hogan, or The Rock.
What was his bit? Like, what was his style?
His bit was nothing. He used to be in a faction, a team called The Shield. And he wore like a combat vest and he was the big muscle guy.
That's lame.
Didn't really do a lot of talking. He didn't have much charisma. No. He was fine in the ring, but he couldn't really cut a promo like John Cena or The Rock or like all of these guys. So the WWE were making him beat all of these guys and be the big main event guy.
People didn't like it.
The crowd was booing him. The crowd he was constantly getting booed to the point that I've never seen a babyface get rejected this much. John Cena was polarizing for a little bit where he had like 50% of the crowd loving him and 50% of the crowd hated him. Yeah. But it was still Cena.
But he hit a point where it was undeniable that he was the superstar.
It's still John Cena. He has the sauce. Like, he has the swagger. Roman didn't for a long time. So then, during the COVID times, WWE have finally pulled the trigger and turned him heel, turned him into a bad guy, and played on into the fact that he is The Rock's cousin and in this Samoan dynasty.
I wasn't aware of the cousin link until this week.
It's this one big family of Samoans. It's very much like rugby league.
Yep.
All of the Polynesian Samoans and the Tongans and all that, mainly Samoans, dominate this industry and they're all cousins with each other. So Roman Reigns starts this big old faction with his boys and is the undisputed champion. He always wins. He's held the belt now for literally like 4 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know his exact thing. It's like 3,000 days or something like
They're
that.
counting it by days that I've seen.
And it's great. It's done very well. He's now like... he's now at the point where he's a heel and people are cheering him because he's such an effective heel. It's gone full circle. And now, fast forward to now, Cody Rhodes is now the babyface that's going to come in.
I like Cody Rhodes from what I've watched.
Cody Rhodes is very cool. He used to be in WWE. He's the son of...
He went to AEW, didn't
Went to AEW and the indie circuit, played in the Rezzies, played in a few state leagues and country footy here and there. Now he's back in the big leagues. He's won the Royal Rumble the first time. And the winner of the Royal Rumble gets a main event shot at the champion at WrestleMania.
They can kind of pick what they want to do.
He faced Roman at last year's WrestleMania. And everyone was like, oh my God, Roman's finally going to lose because he was already fucking champion for ages. Roman still wins, lol. Everyone's mad. But great booking just to have Roman win. He wins the Royal Rumble again this year. Again. And he's gone to pick the champion. So, like, he's on SmackDown. He's in the ring. He's got the microphone. It's like, he calls out Roman. He's like, mate, I'm calling you out. You're about to lose your title.
He gets his homies to get out of the ring.
Yeah, he gets his homies to get out of the ring and says, Roman, you're about to lose that belt, but not to me. And then the fucking Rock comes out. Crowd boos. Crowd boos.
Yeah, the crowd goes fucking bananas.
Because they hate this. This is such a Vince McMahon era of wrestling where all of the full-time guys get shafted for the Hollywood celebrity boys to come back and just... The Rock's done this plenty of times before, but now the crowd is smarter and they're booing him. So now WWE have been in damage control. They've had to retcon this. They're now saying, no, we were just playing with you. We were never going to have The Rock versus Roman. They absolutely were going to do it. And now they're fucking trying to cover their tracks. That's where we're at. Yeah. That's where we're at, rant over, but it seems like they are now going to give Cody the shot back.
This event that's coming to Perth, it is legitimately huge.
It's a full-on, you call it a pay-per-view, even though it's not a pay-per-view anymore. But every time WWE has come to Australia in the past, with a few exceptions...
It's been a non-televised
event. It's been what you call a house show. Now it is Elimination Chamber is a full-on event that they do yearly.
Yep.
You'll have millions of viewers across the world. It is not all of the stars are going to be there. They might not all make the flight over, but there is a chance The Rock is going to be there now.
Yep.
Logan Paul's going to be there because
Yep.
he's the US champion. There's going to be all these guys. I'm fucking
I hate
pumped.
Logan Paul.
He's so easy to hate.
He sucks.
He's so easy to hate.
He sucks.
But yeah, that's where we're at in wrestling. How about we take a little dog leg to the world of Formula One?
Oh my god, the biggest news potentially in years
This is huge.
came out
This is huge.
last week. Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari.
I could not believe the headline.
couldn't believe it.
I know I'm only a new casual fan.
I'm,
But
I'm a massive fan. I visit the Formula One subreddit most days.
Yeah.
More so when the season is in, but it is on my homepage. Every comment section was like, "This isn't real.
Yep.
This isn't real." But it was posted like 8 times from 8 different sources. Everyone slowly over the course of the morning was like, "Oh my god,
Holy
this
shit.
is real."
So how long has he been at Mercedes now? Like 10 years?
I
More
think
than
11 years.
that? And he's won like 6 drivers' titles with him.
Seven world titles.
And
he's got 7. He won 1 with McLaren.
oh, fuck. Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
I can't wait to see this. So is it going to be him and Carlos?
No, it'll be him and Shah.
So they're getting rid of
They'll
Carlos.
get rid of Carlos.
He's my boy.
Leclerc is
That's my boy.
Leclerc is their man. Oh. Leclerc is much more highly rated than
Wherever
Sainz.
Carlos Sainz goes, that's the
Yeah.
team I'm going to barrack for.
Sainz has and not just because Leclerc is their number 1, but secondly, Sainz has made like statements and posts that heavily implicate the fact that he's the one going.
Yep, fair enough.
They haven't made any announcement about that. But
Have you got a guess as to where he might end up?
who the fuck knows?
Oh, God, it's spicy,
Who knows?
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's very,
spicy.
very spicy.
It could start a chain reaction of people moving fucking everywhere.
I love that. I absolutely love it.
But I mean, as huge as it is, it's not terribly surprising. Lewis Hamilton has always said he grew up as a massive Ferrari fan. Most of the drivers on the grid, if you ask them, they said they will happily say like when they were growing up they wanted to drive for Ferrari. So to end his career at Ferrari, he's going to drive for 2 years until the new regs kick in. It's good. I think it's very
Fuck
good.
yeah. Another bit of Formula One goss is Christian Horner has been
Potentially horned
himself into trouble here. He's gotten into a bit of hot bother for having inappropriate relationships with staff members or inappropriate behaviour, I think is the direct quote. A staff member. Now, you hear that. Now,
Your mind goes to sexual.
Your mind goes to sexual. I know Christian Horner because I'm still catching up. I'm a new Formula One fan watching Drive to Survive. I'm a dirty casual. I'm up to season 4. Christian Horner gets so much TV time because he is like the handsome middle-aged man of Red Bull. He's like, he's king shit.
And also,
he is king shit,
also
really.
he's very good at what he does.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And he's also married to Jerry Halliwell, who is a Spice at Ginger Spice, which is the thing that got Nadia into watching it with me because she's a massive Spice Girl fan. He's really merged both of our worlds of sport and the Spice Girls.
The thing about this is there hasn't really been any information about what the context of these allegations are, despite
Let's wildly speculate.
Despite one word or 2 words, it's all that has really come out of it is controlling behavior.
Controlling
That's it.
behavior.
And now you've got to remember, this guy's the fucking boss.
He is
of a 1,000 person strong team that's running in the most elite sport in the world. Like, he's going to be a bit of a fucking hard ass.
So maybe
to
it's
some
just
people.
him being like a really domineering boss. Maybe that's, or maybe he's involved in child sex trafficking. I don't know. It could be. That's either end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
he could have had just an inappropriate relationship with the female.
He's popped a finger in the butthole of the drinks lady.
And she, he had to pay her off perhaps, and then it's just spiraled out from there.
He's given someone a cheeky Red Bull.
What's the euphemism?
I don't know what it is. It's a euphemism for something. Just let
He's
your mind.
given them some wings. He's come from behind to give them some wings. But Christian Horner, after I saw this story, for some reason I was getting Bill Clinton vibes all of a sudden.
okay,
I'm like,
yeah.
he sort of is the Bill Clinton of Formula
He's
One.
copped one under the
And
table.
I mean Bill Clinton pre-scandal.
Yep.
You know, like he occupies the same sort of role. Like he's the most powerful guy there.
But he's also very well loved.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. So was
Yeah.
Clinton.
Yeah,
So was
he
Clinton.
was.
He played the saxophone.
Yeah.
He was, you know,
Very
he
cool.
was a charming Arkansas governor.
He had the great accent.
He had the great accent.
Very
you know,
endearing.
he had the preppy young wife. Like, you know, it was too perfect. It had to come tumbling down. I absolutely am comparing Hillary Clinton to a Spice Girl there. She's very much Ginger Spice. Maybe Condoleezza can be Mel B. I don't know. Other sporting news, the Socceroos had a horrible Asian Cup campaign.
Yeah, look.
Now,
I mean,
I'm about to get on my Graham Arnold rant because
Okay.
I've been watching the Socceroos now right into them since the World Cup.
yeah.
Really supporting the team. I want to start supporting Australian football more.
I try to.
I've been
becomes
watching.
hard.
I've been watching the A-League, mate. I've
fuck.
been properly getting into Australian
Is the
football.
A-League getting good?
Yeah, no, the A-League has always been good. Just people don't watch it.
Yeah.
And like the organisation of the A-League has been a bit of a
Who
shambles.
are the exciting teams?
Melbourne City's good. Central Coast are good. Adelaide
Yeah.
United have got some really good young players. And Gloria, when they're on, are very
Yeah.
fun. They're
So
but-
just on you mentioned the management. Did you manage the management?
yeah, the management of the
So
A-League is a
apparent-
schmozzle.
Apparently, they've just completely shit the bed.
Yeah.
Because 2 years ago, it changed hands from essentially the A-League governing body to some other entity.
So I don't know exactly how it works,
And
but
they've
they
just
have,
fucked it up and
they
it's going
have
back.
been given a lot of money from this American investment company,
Yeah.
and they've essentially pissed it all away
Yeah, it's
with
fucked.
nothing to show
They've
for
gone
it.
broke.
It was meant to grow the league, but attendance numbers are still low as ever. Viewership numbers are really down because they've got this really shit Paramount Plus deal. No one's. I get.
Taking it off the TV was a fucking
awful
stupid
decision.
move.
It should be on KO. If you want to, I hate to
Well,
say
it used
that.
to be on just
It used to be on ABC, but now like KO is the big money market. Everyone fucking has KO. That's where I would be throwing the content if I wanted to get
Yeah.
eyes on it.
So it's not on KO.
It's not on KO.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely
Where are you
insane.
supposed to watch it?
So you are 10 Play and Paramount Plus.
What?
Ridiculous.
Who the
Ridiculous.
fuck's got Paramount Plus?
Me, I'm a sad case. I'm not proud of having Paramount Plus. I am ashamed of myself for doing it. But the Socceroos
Yes.
in the Asian Cup campaign, we were going in as one of the 3 favoured teams to win this.
Right.
So it was sort of us.
Was that justified?
Yeah,
Okay.
no. We've got a very strong team. Our
Yeah.
lineup on paper is very good. We've come off a very good World Cup
The
campaign.
thing that annoys me, I always, sometimes I get excited to watch the big Socceroos games. And boy, is it a slog.
Yeah,
Because
well,
they are such a boring team to watch.
Yeah, that I agree with you right now. And
Oh,
I
God.
think the problem is Graham Arnold as a coach. Not only with the game style that we play, which is very low possession, we allow the opposition to completely
Very
dominate
defensive.
the ball.
Just turtle
Very
shell up.
defensive. We look good on transition when we do get a good transition play going and we can run, but it's maybe 4 or 5 times in a half or 4 or 5
It's
times
no
in a
good.
game.
And it seems that there's always some new hot name that you've never heard of, or even one of their stars that is pulling off these like impressive moves and impressive. It's like, oh yeah, just do that again. Just keep doing that. And they don't.
It's so we were with South Korea and Japan as probably the favourites to win the tournament. We make it out of our group stage, dominate our shitty group. We beat, Indonesia and Uzbekistan. I think we drew to them. These countries, no one's fucking giving them a chance.
Uzbekistan.
Syria, we beat Syria. Make it out of our group, top the group. Then we go up against a knockout stage against Indonesia, beat them 4-0. Sounds like a convincing win.
That's pretty good.
Wasn't a convincing 4-0 win. We scored all of our goals in junk time, and Indonesia looked pretty good against us.
Well, Indonesia's good. Do you go to Indonesia? Everyone's playing soccer
There's like
fucking
a billion
everywhere.
of them. Well, there's not a billion. There's heaps of
there's a
people in
quarter of a
Indonesia.
billion.
There's a fair few Indonesians.
Yeah.
There's a fair few.
250 million.
I think we got the revenge for Chappelle Corby. We beat the Indonesians. Fuck them off. Go on to the next game.
Stick that in your boogie board,
Get
mate.
that in your boogie board. That's for Chappelle. That's for Chappelle. We go up against the South Koreans in the quarterfinals.
Yep.
So this is the biggest test for us. Biggest test. They've got Heung-min Son, who plays for Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham. They've got a lot of other players playing in top-flight leagues in the world. South Korea are a good side.
Yep.
This was the big moment for us. We go up against them. We're 1-0 up for most of the game. We got an early goal. Craig Goodwin hits a banger. So we park the bus for the rest of the game.
It.
Park the bus. Graham Arnold playing negative football. I get it. South Korea are a very attacking, dangerous team. I get it. We've got to sit back and park the bus a little bit. I get that. But in the last... It goes into added time, 95th minute. Graham Arnold makes a substitute. He subs off our right back, who was having a great game. Subs on Lewis Miller, who's not a great player, if you're asking
why has
me.
he done that?
No idea. Subs on Lewis Miller. Lewis Miller gives away a penalty.
Oh, good.
In the 96th minute.
Good.
On Heung-min Son, recklessly slides in the box.
On their superstar
On
too.
their superstar too. It was such a... Did not need to leave his feet to make this tackle. On the edge of the box, wasn't
Beautiful.
threatening a shot. He's just gone, oh, God, and just 2 foot fucking charged into him.
He's freaked out.
What we would call a Brexit challenge, just an absolute bosh. Penalty. They make the penalty, send it to extra time. We've drawn, ripping my hair out. We go into proper extra time now. Immediately gives away another free kick right on the edge of the box. Heung-min Son slots it. Free kick, beautiful free kick, gets past Matty Ryan, nothing he could do. We lose 2-1. And we get a red card as well. It was a complete capitulation.
So we've got to get rid of
We've got to get rid of Graham Arnold.
So
we have to get rid of Graham Arnold.
Who's in the who's who
Now,
to take that?
Obviously, Australia isn't a big marquee team. We're not going to attract the big names. But if you would allow me to be fantasy booking here for a bit, say I've got a blank check and I'm the head of Football Australia. You know who's just been sacked from his job managing Roma in Serie A? Jose Mourinho. Get Jose over to manage the Socceroos.
Love that.
Absolutely get over. Also, Jurgen Klopp's just been left
never
Liverpool.
getting him.
They're never getting Jurgen. We'll probably get someone who,
He'd give you the where the fuck is Australia?
Yeah.
Where? What?
I've never heard of this country. I've never heard of it. Very handsome old German man. But yes, Graham Arnold out. I'm absolutely on the sack Graham bandwagon. In other news, Barnaby Joyce got absolutely fuck-eyed and fell off a pot plant.
Love this.
Did you watch this video?
Yes, it's fantastic. He's laying on his back, mumbling profanities into his phone.
I think he called...
The person filming is walking past, like, is that fucking
Barnaby Joyce?
The fuck?
So, he's in a suit. He's clearly in his clothes from Parliament. If you're not aware of who Barnaby Joyce is, I envy you.
He's the leader of the National Party.
No, not anymore. He's not leader of the party anymore. That's David Littleproud.
Oh, it is Littleproud.
He was
somehow worse.
He was leader of the National Party and at one point Deputy Prime Minister. Seemingly an absolute degenerate alcoholic.
He's a well-known pisshead.
Well-known pisshead.
Well-known pisshead.
There have been times where I look at him in question time and he'll just be rambling on and on. I'm like, this man...
You can tell that he's drunk.
You can tell he's been drinking since 8:30 in the morning.
That's the thing that people are saying about this video, that when the video was filmed, Parliament had been in session that day, and they regularly go into the night.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't that far... There wasn't the amount of time that had passed since Parliament finished, and when the video...
It was like 2 hours.
He couldn't have gotten that shit wrecked in that period. He had to have been drunk in Parliament.
For sure. And
you're not getting that shit wrecked in an hour or so.
It's so wild. He's this one was our deputy PM. 2, that he hasn't been sacked, because this is not the first time something like this has happened.
He knocked up a staffer.
Yeah, he knocked up his staffer,
wife
left his wife, and started a second family with this staffer. Just absolute unhinged
Crazy.
gremlin behaviour. And, I'm not going to say that I've never been passed out on the side of the road muttering obscenities into a phone drunk.
Me more times than you, probably.
Glass houses stones, not us.
Yeah.
But we're not Deputy Prime Minister.
I'm
and
not an
also,
elected official.
I bet you we're more fun than Barnaby when he does it. I reckon he'd be an absolute downer. And, we've had We've had prime ministers who have had alcohol problems. Bob Hawke has had his problems with the
Well,
booze.
he was a king.
But Bob Hawke was a fun drunk.
He was
You
a
know,
king.
Bob Hawke was a very fun drunk.
Yeah.
You know, if Bob Hawke's on the side of the road
What was
pissed,
the,
you give him a lift.
Yeah,
Like, you
100%.
give him a lift
What was
home.
the America's Cup?
America's
thing? It's
Cup.
Like,
Anyone who sacks someone for not coming into work tomorrow, he's a bum.
He's a bum.
Your boss is a bum. Crowd goes
and
wild.
he's sitting in a pub, and
With a
everyone's
beer.
like,
Barnaby could never.
No,
he would
Barnaby
not be
couldn't
able to
pull that
have
off.
that raw charisma.
No.
He just doesn't have it. He's just an absolute degenerate.
Now, speaking of drunk degenerates, the Phoenix Open, the waste management,
The golf.
It's the party stop of the tour. It's in recent years has become renowned for the place to go and just be a degenerate.
There's fuck all else to do in Phoenix.
So, surprisingly enough, the PGA this year were shocked to find that people had come to be degenerates.
So is it on the level of, because I didn't watch much of the Phoenix, I tuned it on here and there because we love the golf, but was it comparable to live golf rowdy holes?
Yes, well, yes, definitely.
Wow,
but
okay.
The problem is that the security got overwhelmed. There was too many people coming in, and they just stopped checking tickets. And for that reason, the bars got crammed, and they shut off alcohol service, which when you have tens of thousands of really drunk people and you tell them they're not allowed any more alcohol,
That's a riot.
That's bad.
That's
It's real
very
bad. And
bad.
that's exactly what happened.
I'd
They
throw
shit the bed.
something. I'd throw something.
But the highlight of all of this was one of the players. I think it might have been Scotty Scheffler. I don't know.
Scotty.
There was another golfer lining up a chip, and there's a guy filming from the crowd, and the people in the crowd are razzing this guy a bit. And whoever it was, whether it was Scheffler or whoever, walks into the shot between the camera and the guy taking his shot, and starts giving the most Shooter McGavin of rants to the people. Like, come on, this is golf. He's trying to have his shot. What are you people doing? This is our job. And everyone is immediately like, you dickhead. And it's so, mate, like, I get where you're coming from, but what are you expecting to gain?
This is, I love that this is where golf is going, because this is now a good tie into the Australian Open and a
Yes.
thing that happened there, because they have now allowed in the Australian Open people to, they've got more lax rules in the crowd for when you want to go and grab a beer.
Well, it was getting insane.
No, it's been insane for a while. I didn't know
Yeah.
this, and I made a TikTok
People
about
complain
this.
about players complain about spectators breathing.
They complain about them walking in the
Yeah.
aisles.
Like, oh, this
I
guy's
didn't-
breathing too
I
loud.
didn't know this until I went to the tennis with Nadia, and we went to the United Cup, which is not even a fucking Grand Slam. You're not playing for. No one gives a fuck about the United Cup. It's like the Hopman Cup, but shitter. And I went to go and get a beer. I'm enjoying the tennis. I think it was Greece versus Australia. Little fucking mixed doubles, hit and giggle. And I go out to get a couple of beers. And I'm like, Nadia, do you want anything? I'm going to go get some beers. And then she goes, oh, you have to be quick, because if you don't come back in time before the next game starts, or you have games in tennis, 6 games, you will get locked out of the aisles until there's an odd number of games. And I go, what the fuck?
I would not do well.
I didn't believe her when she told me this. I went, what are you talking about?
That doesn't make sense.
That sounds like Nazi Germany. What the fuck are you talking about, Nadia? I'm going to go and get some beverages. Do you want a Coke? And she's like, yeah, I'll have a Coke. So I go and get it, and I've still done it, because I'm going to do what she says, because maybe I'm like gaslighting myself, or I'm like, surely that's not a thing. So I power walk to the bar. I could not have been quicker. Power walk to the bar at Perth Arena. Staff were lovely. Service was quick. I have 3 bloody running with thieves or whatever it is. Come back, get my craft beers, get her a Coke, bang, bang, bang. I would have been 4 minutes, I reckon.
Too
4
long.
minutes.
Too long.
I get there, and just as I pull up to the hallway where the door meets the thing, they have a chain out. The front of house stuff, they have a chain.
Oh, they pulled the velvet
And
rope
I have
on
to
you.
watch on a monitor what is happening in the tennis so I can hear it. I'm like, I did not know this could happen in modern sport. Are you fucking kidding me?
Can you imagine me in
Because
that
it's a
scenario?
distraction, apparently.
Oh, I would not do well.
It's fucked. It's absolutely
I would
fucked.
give them the, oh, you think I'm going to be distracting?
Yeah.
Now you're going to get a distraction. now you're going to have to drag me out while I scream that you're all fascists. That's what you're going to get.
A meal, a succulent Chinese meal.
See, you could have just let me in. Now we've got a just fucking distraction.
Oh, for God's sake. Like, it was And now in the Australian Open that just gone past, they have not had this rule. So you are now allowed to, because apparently fucking people walking through an aisle, not sledging you, but just the appearance of someone walking down an aisle with a drink in their hand is too much of a distraction for the player. I'm sorry.
Kyrgios is a bad one for this. He
You're
does it all
being
the
a
time.
fucking prima donna. You are paid millions of dollars to hit the fucking ball. You serve balls every day of your life. I'm sure me walking down the aisle with a fucking craft IPA is not going to get you off your swing. And if it does, pick up your game. Pick up your fucking game. Be better. No one gives a fuck about me being in your peripheral vision. I'm sick of it. Bring it back. And I think you should be allowed to yell out. I think you should be allowed to yell at you.
Yeah, 100%.
If I think that Novak Djokovic is a Cooker QAnon guy,
you're a dickhead.
I should yell at Novak, you fuck. I should be able to yell that as he's serving. But that's just my opinion. You know,
No, I'm with you. 100%.
I think it's absolutely
I would
fucked.
go to more tennis.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of like players who would get around it. Ash Barty, I reckon, would be fine with
she
it.
would
You know,
love it.
she's an Australian.
She would love
She's a good working class Australian girl. She's not going to worry if you're going up and down the aisles. She'll, get you a beer in between games. She'll bring you out one if she's got a spare in her little fridge. She's fine.
All right, I've got some more sports here. Interesting one for the Paris Olympics upcoming. That's this year.
Yes.
We're very
We're
excited.
going to have a lot of Olympic
I'm a
content.
big Olympics head. I love it. I've loved it forever.
I'm so ready for the Olympics.
They've debuted or announced what the medals are going to be.
Oh, what do you mean?
The medals that they award to the first, second, and third, gold, silver, and bronze for all the events. They're going to be made from pieces of the Eiffel Tower.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So, like, they paint them different colours?
I guess they cut them up and fashion them into something. There's been no pictures of what they look like yet. They've just said this.
Okay.
But you would think that the Eiffel Tower needs that medal.
For structural integrity,
Yes.
you would think. I mean, you're the engineer.
Right.
I mean...
Well, I guess. Well, the Eiffel Tower is 137 years old, so I guess over that time they've taken bits out and replaced it with other bits, which begs the question. It's like this is going to be like the Theseus ship of medals because they say, oh, this is from the Eiffel Tower, and it technically is, but it's not the original bits of the Eiffel Tower.
It's just the offcuts of the Eiffel Tower.
How long have these bits been on there? Did they bolt a piece of metal onto the Eiffel Tower for a week, take it off, and give it to you and say, this is from the Eiffel Tower?
These were just the bits that didn't make it on as they're doing the drop saw. They've just got an old Italian concreter.
Tuck it in the medals
with
bucket.
a drop saw, like, this is a shit. And he puts it in. He just throws these offcuts into a skip, and then those are fashioned into the medals.
So whether they are legitimate pieces of the Eiffel Tower or not remains to be seen. But it does beg the question: 2028 LA. What do they make their medals out of? Fentanyl?
No, just M16s. They just make them out of.
M16s.
They make them out of high power caliber assault weapons.
I like that. And every medal costs $780,000.
And they're now called the Raytheon Olympics. they're the key sponsor.
I love that.
I'm keen. So when we do Olympic content,
there's going to be a lot of
we
it.
need to watch as much of the Olympics as possible.
I
but
watch everything.
They're adding a lot of new events this year. They're adding breakdancing.
Well,
which
actually, they took it out.
They took it out?
Yeah,
okay. Are
thankfully.
they adding skateboarding?
Skateboarding was in the last one.
Skateboarding was in the last one? Okay. What's another exotic one they're adding? Have they got any? Have they got cornholing?
Breakdancing, skateboarding. There was
Sudoku?
something kind of American.
Dota 2?
Oh, now that would be good.
StarCraft?
There was a concerted push to try and incorporate esports.
Dude, I would, if you told me that 3 years ago, I'd be like, nah, these guys aren't athletes, fuck
IOC,
you. Now I'm like, Overwatch, bring Overwatch into the Olympics.
The IOC actually
bring Rainbow
did
Six Siege.
have a tournament kind of thing of sorts that was under the IOC banner, but it wasn't part of the Olympics, as it were.
Here's a question.
But it
What
fell
game, if you were going to put esports in the Olympics, what game deserves to be the first esport put in there? What video
God.
game?
Well,
would it be Counter-Strike?
It would probably just be CSGO, yeah.
I mean, it's the
would.
legacy pick. You've got to do it.
I think Rocket League is more watchable.
Rocket League would be fun.
Yeah,
Rocket League would be
League's
very fun.
much better to watch than Counter-Strike is, because those nerds have just dialed Counter-Strike down to just not being fun to look at.
I've never watched. I have no desire to watch professional CS:GO. What about like Farmville?
Oh, that'd
You
be
could have
good.
Olympic Farmville.
Well, Farming Simulator 2023 has a very healthy esports circuit.
Yes.
It is crazy. So does Stardew Valley.
yeah, there's esports Stardew Valley.
There is,
What
yeah.
do you? How do you
So
compete?
you have a team of 4, and there's like a list. There's a list of things that that whoever the team of 4 completes first.
Oh, so it's speed running, like it's
Yeah.
competitive speed
yeah,
running.
you
of
have to do
Stardew
X
Valley.
X X X X.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But they've data mined the game, and they've figured out. There was one thing that I watched where early game, a very quick way to make money is by just farming mud, but. Not every tile of the map generates mud. It's when you're playing, it's like, oh, this is random. It's not random. So all you got to do is find. It's like solving a Rubik's cube. You find one, and then you go 2 up and 3 down. Bang, another one. Now go 4 up and 2 left. Bang, another one.
So then these guys are just savants at doing that.
Yeah, they're just
like,
running around and
it's
getting
just
mud.
automatic. Yeah,
and then they go to the next. It's pretty wild.
Formula One-esque.
I mean, interestingly enough, I'm not sure if we put it into the. I think we did put it in episode 0, the Microsoft Excel.
Yeah, they did have the Excel
I mean,
championships.
you could put that in.
That would
That'd
be
be
very,
great.
very quick. Because everyone can relate to that.
Yeah,
So many
100%.
office workers want to see the best Excelers.
Who's the
they
best?
get off on that shit. They get off on that. I don't get off on it at all. I'm a practical sort of guy. Excel scares me. I like to lift heavy things.
I've got a semi-political one. The conflict in the Gaza Strip,
Oh, well.
obviously very hectic.
Sorry, what is there something happening in the Gaza Strip? I haven't
happening-
heard of it.
It's not happening in the Gaza Strip, but the women's basketball, I think it's the World Cup qualifiers.
saw this.
So the country speaking up against Israel the hardest. Most of the West is capitulating.
Not the Irish.
Due to the deep state government being in bed with the
Zionists,
Israelis.
yes.
But
Not the
Irish
not
or the South
Irish
Africans.
or the Saffers. Saffers is a funny one, but the
It is
Irish,
weird.
yeah, Irish
It
have
is
always
weird.
been very pro-Palestine.
So the Irish are very pro-Palestine.
Yes.
And they had a recent match, women's basketball match against Israel. Now, leading up to this game, members of the Israeli team were pictured with IDF soldiers near the front lines, holding assault weapons.
Just
and
doing a
things.
bit of training.
The
yeah.
Irish didn't like this.
Yep.
And then the Israelis accused the Irish team of anti-Semitic
Of course,
remarks,
of course.
of which there is no evidence of
Yep.
them being anti-Semitic at all. So this led to a lot of the Irish team boycotting the game. But the women that did play got belted 87-57 and refused handshakes at the start of the game.
Based.
Yeah,
very,
very,
very
very
based. We stand with the
Very
Irish.
based.
We
We do.
absolutely stand with the Irish women's
We do.
basketball team. Get a 3-pointer. I don't think I have any other news. Oh no, we had the Grammys and the Oscars. Taylor Swift won Grammy of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Her dominance over everything to do with culture continues. I cannot look around a corner without seeing her face.
The thing is, I'm quite ambivalent about the Taylor Swift thing.
Me too.
It is odd.
It's a bit annoying.
It's so odd that she is everywhere. But I saw a post about this the other day that I quite resonated with. That it could be worse. Like for all the things to be propped up this much, she's like the most normal, just milk toast, nothing.
Yeah.
Like for that to be what all the normal people are into, fine.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it could be way worse.
It could be something
It could be way
fucking
worse.
annoying.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is nothing. This is just like a normal nothing lady.
I think the annoying thing is her fan base, though. Now, like
They
it
are
is now,
quite
like
rabid.
they are rabid, and I respect the level of fangirling that does exist, but there is a certain like demographic of
Yeah.
Taylor Swift millennial woman.
Yeah.
that is like.
Disney adults.
They are like Disney adults.
Yeah.
She is their Disneyland, and it's not her fault. She's just making catchy
getting the
pop
bag.
music. She's getting the bag. I quite like a lot of the songs.
Did you see
But-
the conspiracy theories leading up to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that it's a deep state operation.
Fantastic.
It's
She's,
very,
she's a CIA psyop asset, and the NFL's rigged, which it probably is,
Yes.
but not for that reason. Well, the whole thing is the thing that they lean on is that a few years ago the NFL rebranded themselves as an entertainment company, not a sport,
okay,
and they're like,
It's rigged.
that's proof.
That's rigged.
It's entertainment.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, yeah.
okay, whatever. But they think that the reason they're leaning into the Taylor Swift thing is the big conspiracy was that post-game, Taylor Swift was going to endorse Joe Biden.
Yeah,
So
of course.
people were going fucking bananas in the conspiracy world. And the tweet and Instagram post sent out by someone that's working for Joe Biden.
I saw this.
Was
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
It was the Dark Brandon thing, him with the laser eyes, and all the text said was just like we planned it.
Yeah.
It's like fantastic. And I went onto some of the conspiracy subreddits and things, and people were like, "Why would he post this? Why would he post that?" And everyone's like, "Because they're trolling you, idiot."
Yeah, it's fish in a barrel. It's truly fish in a barrel. It infuriates me how good the post was because,
just gets it.
I am no fan of the US politicians
No.
in any way, but goddamn, that is good shit posting.
it's very
game
good.
from whoever's running that account. That is
just triggered him.
so good. It's
Triggered
a
him hard.
masterful troll. Love to see it. One more thing we could touch on the NRL.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, so these two boys from the Brisbane Broncos have got into a fist fight. I
Got in a
believe it's their
barney.
captain. Can't remember their names.
Yeah.
I need to watch more NRL this season, but this is putting a bit of a damper on the lead up to
Are we back in the Fins?
Are we back in
season?
the? Well, I technically am a Tigers fan.
Okay.
like I'm still a West Tigers fan.
I'm going to double down on the Fins.
You be a Finns man, I'll be a Tigers fan. Shout out to my buddy Caleb. He's my NRL. He got me into NRL because he was a big West Tigers Balmain fan. Back when Benji Marshall was kicking around. Is that your fin noise?
That's my
there
dolphin,
it is.
my dolphin sound effect.
Skip it. Flipper, get down. Get down.
Bit late on it,
Not on
but
the
it's
table, Flipper. Not on the table. And so now the NRL is having their opening launch week in Vegas.
Yeah,
And
huge.
we're ready for
So,
it.
what's the over/under on how many players get arrested in this 2-week
You'd
period?
be thinking there's a group
6?
activity that they all get
they all
arrested
get- they all
during.
get
So
hit with,
I'm
yeah.
going to guess 7 is
7.
the over/under.
Yep, I like it. So,
Because
let's put it 6.5.
I think, 6.5 over/under of amount of NFL players getting arrested by police. I think it's like a group activity. They go to a strip club
Yep.
and they just get into a fight with a bunch of
I
Americans.
think the day after they land is when the first scandal comes out.
Oh, forget
Like something's going to happen.
At the airport in the Qantas
I mean,
Lounge.
the Broncos are already fighting each other.
Yeah,
they haven't even
they're
left
not-
yet.
How are they going to go in Las Vegas? Someone's going to piss off the top of the sphere.
And it
Someone's
is-
going to do it.
It is very funny that they're trying to. They set some stipulations on the accommodation. They're not staying on the strip. They're staying in a army camp
to
type,
discourage any shithousery or shenanigans.
which is
That'll do it.
You know.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah.
yeah. Let's put them all together in this close proximity thing. So they're all going to number one try to escape, and number two fucking fight each other.
I'm picturing the scene in Goldmember where Dr. Evil and
Yeah,
Mini-Me
the
break out of
spotlight.
jail with the spotlights. And they just get in the Uber and they go off to the club. Amazing.
I love it a lot. So I've got a fun one here. College football in America.
Yes.
Auburn is a number one string. What do they call it?
Ivy League or whatever,
yeah,
or
yeah.
top seed.
Auburn is a
Good
uni
team.
that plays there. Yeah, they're very good. One of their star players has had to apologise to Morgan Freeman.
What?
So
I
it's
can't-
in the
why,
middle of it's in
Corey?
the middle of a game. The ball is going out of bounds. The player kind of half dives to keep the ball in.
Yeah.
And he's gone over the top of Morgan Freeman courtside. Morgan Freeman has. It's unclear what Morgan Freeman was doing, but he's reached up and touched him. So, what is that to defend himself from a man flying
Yeah.
at him? Or
Can we look at the footage? Can you pull it up?
I did try to find some footage. I don't know if
Does
we
it
can
not
get
exist?
It.
Okay. I'll
but
vamp while you try and look it up if you want.
In any case, he has he's turned around and swatted Morgan Freeman's hand away because he thought it was just some fan grabbing
and
him.
it's fucking Morgan
It's fucking
Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
You don't swap Morgan Freeman's
So
hand
he's
away.
had to. He immediately, like a minute after this, he was so full of regret. He's like, he kept going up to him like, "I'm so sorry.
I'd be exactly the
I'm
same.
so fucking sorry."
It's fucking Morgan
Like,
Freeman.
oh,
There's certain
God.
celebrities that you could maybe get away with it with. You could slap their hand away. I feel like if it was James Corden, slap his hand away and don't apologise. If it's someone like Morgan Freeman or like Jeff Goldblum,
Here we go.
you got to check if
We've
they're
got a-
okay.
we've got a short.
So let's analyse this. Let's analyse the YouTube short of Morgan Freeman copping it a little bit with
Got
some fire
got some
from
poor-
the play.
Very poor internet here.
No, that's all right.
What's going on?
I just hope
okay.
Morgan Freeman's okay because he's like 80 years
He's
old.
fucking old.
He's very old, Morgan Freeman. I couldn't believe it when the man
Okay, so here
came
we
at
go.
me. Oh, oh.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, no, that's a child.
So no, that's Morgan Freeman. That's him.
Oh, I thought it was a little kid.
So-
Wait, what?
Why are they grabbing him?
Why are you grabbing him? No,
See, that's not
Morgan's
Morgan
out
Freeman.
of line there.
Morgan
I thought
is
that
out of
was a
line.
child because he's very malnourished looking, Morgan Freeman. That looks like a little
Well,
kid.
just what old
He's
people look
grabbed the
like.
back of his jersey.
And the lady
That's-
next to him has as well.
Morgan's in the wrong.
Morgan's definitely in
Morgan,
the wrong
that's
there.
borderline assault.
Why has he done that?
You can't be doing that. Look at him. So that's the apologising. Look at him. He's just
They
grabbed
are
him
just grabbing
almost on the tuchus. He's
Yeah,
grabbed
on
him.
the tuch.
And then he's grabbed his shirt. No, you can't be doing that, Morgan. You can't be doing that. I just thought I'd have a taste. I just saw those hindquarters.
Now,
And when
I've
I
got-
first saw Andy Dufresne play college basketball
For Auburn.
for Auburn, I knew I had to touch his posterior.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good. I've got a sad one to finish on.
Yeah, go on. Finish on a sad note. Did Morgan Freeman die?
No, but another black guy did.
No! Oh, no. Who was it? Who was it?
Kelvin Kiptum. He was the guy that in the past, the Kenyan marathon runner in the past 3 years that's been trying to break the 2-hour barrier.
Oh, no.
So he got the record from Kipchoge. Kipchoge's the best marathon runner.
yeah,
has been
Kipchoge.
forever.
I know Kipchoge. Yeah.
Yeah, so Kiptum has, oh man, he's been on electric. He took the world record a couple of years ago, 2 hours, 35 seconds.
Whoa.
And
whoa.
he's been working up to it. I think he...
So he wanted to crack 2 hours.
well, he actually did. But it didn't count because he had paces the entire way, which you're not allowed to do.
What are paces?
So a guy just runs flat out for 1 kilometre, like as fast as he fucking can, and Kiptum just keeps up, like tries to keep up with him, and then that guy gets puffed out, and a new guy fucking comes in and
Is it
runs.
for wind resistance or is
No. In long distance running, pace said you see it at the Olympics, but they drop off. Even in the 1500 and stuff, they have a pacer that runs for the first like 2 laps, flat chat, and the pack just follows him.
Wow.
And then they peel off, and the pack then.
Well, how
then
does
goes.
that give him a competitive advantage? Why is it
Because
bad that he
because he's got a
overpaces?
fresh a fresh guy every X amount of kilometers.
Yeah, but how does that help him? He's still going to get just as tired, isn't he? It's not.
He's going to get tired, but it can't be understated how much not having to set your own pace is an advantage in long distance running. If there's
Okay.
someone there that is running at a set time set by you to crack the 2 hour,
Yeah.
all you have to do is keep up with these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
and those
okay,
guys
yeah.
peel off. It's not an organic 2 hours.
Yeah.
But he'd been working towards it, and he vowed that at an upcoming marathon that's in about 3 or 4 months from now, he was going to do it.
Wow.
And he's just been killed in a car crash along with his coach, which is absolutely devastating.
That is awful.
Yeah,
Oh,
really
man.
devastating stuff. The Kenyans have been pumping out a lot of good runners, and he's kind of at the forefront of that. Especially very sad in Olympic year as well. He would have been a big star. The marathon's always a marquee event for the Olympics. But R.I.P.
R.I.P. King.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Calvin.
We love a handsome marathon runner.
Yeah, we do.
I did a nice 3K time this week. I've been having a month off the booze.
I've been
so-
doing sprints.
What kind of sprints?
I don't measure them, but I just pick a spot down by the river and go from here to over there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking run as fast as I
Yeah,
can.
I've
to
been
it.
doing a little bit of that, but post long distance.
And I just go
so-
as many as I can back
Yeah.
to back,
Yeah,
and then
nice.
just lay down for a minute and then do it again.
I do. So I like usually 3-4Ks is my sweet spot. Like I like
like
going
that.
for a 3K. I have had a month off the booze, and it's been it's been 3 weeks now into the month. As of this 3 weeks, my 3K a time, like per K, is 30 seconds quicker than it was 3 weeks ago.
pretty fucking good.
And it came out of nowhere. I went for 3K the other day and it was 4 minutes 20 per K.
Love that.
Which is not super fast, but like it's not bad. It's
Yep.
definitely not bad. And I felt fucking good doing it as well. I was
You
charging.
do feel
like-
good when you get the wind rushing past your ears.
Yes.
that's the good one. You
But
go,
a good
"Oh,
thing
I'm
to
flying
do,
here."
a good thing to do after like a little 3K, or if you've perhaps not had the best running, like fuck, I could have gone faster.
Yep.
Start doing interval sprints after that.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
just see how much you can push
Or
yourself.
hills. Hill sprints.
Hill sprints. Oh, good lordy. Anyway, should we call it there?
We'll call it there,
Let's
mate.
call
We'll
it there.
call
Good
it there.
episode to kick off the official season 2 of Barely Touched Him. Oh wait, no, Corey,
Yes.
the mailbag.
Oh, we got
I
the
forgot the
mailbag.
mailbag.
Yeah.
No, let's open it up. We'll
Okay, let's do
finish.
it.
We'll finish. Oh my God, how could I forget our beautiful?
While you're pulling that up, I'll
Dear
give a quick
listeners.
shout out to Dan at PCH in the sleep science ward. Is it a ward or a
Oh,
division
yeah,
or the
okay.
lab
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
yeah.
He works there with my partner Chloe. Shout out to him. He's a big fan of the pod.
Oh, shouts out, mate. Shouts out. Okay, here we go. First question. What items are you picking up on a servo run, says Owen Wrangle, fan of the show. Thank you, Owen.
Number one has got to be the blue boy, the blue Powerade.
The blue Powerade is a very big... Yeah.
That's half the reason I ever go
I
to
don't get a
servo.
blue Powerade every time, but if it's a hot day, absolutely,
Yeah,
I'll
yep.
go a blue Powerade over a water. I will usually go, and this is like, it depends on the servo run. At work at the moment, I've been doing morning breakfast from the servo.
Oh, that's bad.
It's bad.
That's real bad.
But I'll take a couple of chicken wingdings. Oh,
There's a good
God,
lunch
I
bar.
love them.
You're working around the corner from here, aren't you?
Yeah, are you talking about the Wunderbar
There's a
lunch
good
bar?
lunch bar there.
Yeah, there is. I like
That's
that
a
lunch
good
bar. But usually I will go with a Dare Double Espresso iced coffee.
Oh, you're a dare man.
I'm a Dare man. I'm a Dare Double Espresso iced
It's
coffee
too much
man.
sugar.
And if I'm getting a snack, maybe like some beef jerky. That's
Okay.
what
Yeah,
I
not
would
bad,
go with.
not bad.
So you're going the blue Powerade?
The blue
Servo
Powerade.
snack. What's your servo snack?
Oh well, the filthy chicken cheese crumb sausage.
Oh,
pretty
God,
good.
yes.
Yeah, pretty good.
You want the cheese, the hot cheese, spurting down your
Yes.
throat on the first bite
Yeah.
to the point of pain.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah, you
That's
want the
what you
pain.
want. It makes you
The
feel
pain,
alive.
the pain overshadows the regret.
It is like me and my buddy,
fuck, this
me
is
and my
bad.
buddy Callum had a me and my buddy Callum back on the day when we would do really long road trips, like to Adelaide and to Broome and shit. We had a game going, a challenge where if we went past a roadhouse, which you would do all the time
Yeah.
on a road trip, they're fucking the only thing you stop at. If there's a sausage there, you call the cheese sausage the sausage.
I like the
we would
sausage.
have to get it, no matter
Yeah.
what state they were in. We would both
they-
have to get
they
the
get
cheese
in some
sausage.
pretty bad
And I remember the one from Tamman. There was a Tamman sausage that was...
How many
it
days
looked-
has this been in
It
here?
looked like dog food. It was like a hardened dog roll.
I'd give it a go.
And we had to do it. You couldn't not do it. And I remember the bite into this. It was like leather, but the cheese in the sausage, still hot lava down the throat. I nearly vomited. It was so bad, but had to do it. Would do it again.
Yeah, would do it again.
That's the servo treats. That was that. Owen Wrangle, thank you for the question. Cam Cooper says, if Fremantle fail to make finals, does that spell the end of Longmuir?
Oh, jeez. It'd be close.
I think if they finish 9th or 10th, they might keep him, but it's
Yeah.
more than likely going to
I'm
be
not
the end
sure
of him.
how much of that speculation that came out with Bevo's was manufactured
Yeah,
by...
we forgot to mention that. There's been all of the rumour mill in the West Australian footy media saying Freo are going after Bevo.
Yeah, but they just make a whole bunch of shit up all
Dude,
the time.
I kind of like Bevo at Freo, just
like
as
it.
an aesthetic.
I like it.
He would look good in a Freo polo shirt.
He definitely
He'd look very
would.
good.
But, I mean, there's been absolutely no organic sign from either the Bulldogs
No.
or Freo that that's ever going to
No, it seems to be just throwing darts at a board, as is often the media case. Next up, are you doing... This is Wanderlost Blessed Boy, which is our dear friend Harry Hyam. Are you doing MVP votes again this year, or
Yes.
just giving it to Nick Dacos now?
I mean, we could.
We could do that, but we are doing MVP votes again this year. We are
Yeah.
going with our esteemed panel. It is
Possibly
going to happen.
revised format, possibly the same.
I think it's going to be top 5 over
Yeah,
the round.
yeah,
I
I
like
like
the
it.
top 5
I like
over the
the top
round.
five, yeah.
I think it's a pretty good indicator. But yes, we will be doing it, and it is now we've got to come up with the official name of the medal, because I like a long name for a trophy.
Yeah,
but
okay.
or a medal, or the
Yep.
shield. But it has got to be something inspired by the inaugural winner, Nick
Yeah,
Dacos.
the Nick Dacos medal, something.
Like the Nick Dacos perpetual trophy of excellence,
Yeah, I love
or
that.
the something like that. It's
Yep.
we'll workshop
We'll
it.
brainstorm
We'll
that.
workshop
Yeah.
it. Next up, we've got our dear friend Cracker Craig.
Craig.
To Monty, who sends his apologies, he's not on the pod this week.
R.I.P.
How are
He's
the
not
post?
dead, but he's just
how are
not
the
here.
post Blink Blues, or are you hyped and ready for WWE next week? Fuck, that's next week. I can't believe that. I'm going to that as well.
that's
We will
crazy.
take that question on notice for Monty
Yeah.
next time he is on the pod.
Monty had a cracker time, from what I've heard.
Now, I also remembered one more news article that I will be reading after this mailbag,
Yes,
but we will
shoot.
do the last mailbag question from Van the Man 02,
Oh, Van
dear
the
friend
Man.
of the show. Which footy player would make the best reality TV personality? Now,
Oh,
when we
we
say
forgot about
reality
Ben
TV
Cousins.
personality, I mean, let's say they go on to Maths or they go on to The Bachelor.
Yes.
So I think you need someone who's going to be a top heel, being the bad guy in the reality TV, because that's usually what the big macho guys do.
Or, I mean, we forgot to, I was going to mention it during the episode. Ben Cousins has been announced to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Huge.
So, like you say, the heel is good, but people
Also,
love
the
a
baby
comeback.
face people love a comeback story.
And this is his
Clayton
big moment.
Oliver. Clayton Oliver's got to go on Maths.
That'd be good. That'd be
Imagine
good.
Clayton Oliver on Maths. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, Dane Swan went on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here to hilarious results.
Yeah, I didn't watch
He
it.
just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they tried to put him
Billy
in
Brownless did too.
They tried to put him in like uncomfortable like situations, whatever. He's like, "You're paying me heaps of money. I'll do anything." Like,
they
whatever
do
you
get
want.
a lot of fucking money for going on I'm a Celebrity.
And like
Get Me Out of Here.
on his podcast, they reference it quite a bit, and they're like, they tried to break us down mentally by like just giving us rice. I didn't give a fuck. I'll just eat heaps of rice, whatever.
This is like people forget how tolerant the body gets if you've been like a piss hound for years. Like Dane Swan would have gone weeks eating the worst food possible or not
nothing,
eating at all
nothing.
and just on the passion fruit UDLs. Like literally there's nothing you can do to him at that point.
No.
Like, are we just having staple food? It's fine. I mean, could be better, but like, I'll live. Like it'll be okay.
Yeah, it's like if you put me into one of those situations, I'd be like, oh, this reminds me of the time I lived in the gutters of the Philippines. Like this is great.
This reminds me of the time I was in lockup for 3 days. I mean, it was a misunderstanding.
This is
but,
nothing.
it was all fine. Trying to think of other
Funny story, actually. Let me regale you.
I'm trying to think of other guys that could be good on reality TV, footy guys. Jack Higgins. Obviously,
He'd be
Jack
great.
Higgins would be
He'd be
great.
great.
As a maths groom, Jack Higgins would be fucking top tier.
It'd be pretty wholesome.
He'd be very, very funny.
I do like the idea of the heel, though.
Top heel, I reckon. Tom Lynch.
I was about to say Tom Lynch.
Tom Lynch is a maths groom. Top heel would be very
Just,
spicy.
Like minimal editing needed, just coming across as a complete wanker.
Yeah, I think those are our answers. Those are good ones there. Now, I've got an article that I'm going to read to you blind here, Corey.
And this is to round us out?
This is to round us
Okay.
out. This one is a banger. Where are my screenshots of it? Oh, I took screenshots. Damn it, where did it go? Vamp for me, Corey. Talk about stuff.
I think we're not just heading
No, here we go. I
to-
got it. Never mind. Don't need to vamp anymore.
All right, no worries.
Okay. AFL legend Kevin Sheedy making shock return to coaching.
What?
This is exactly what I said. I went, what?
Oh, hang on. Is this
Stop
clickbait?
the presses.
Is this clickbait?
Stop the
'Cause
presses.
I've heard nothing about
I can
this.
neither confirm nor deny that it is clickbait. Let's read on.
Oh, fucking hell.
The four-time premiership mastermind has not coached at AFL level since 2013. Four-time premiership mastermind coach Kevin Sheedy is planning a return to the hot seat. Sheedy, an Australian Football Hall of Fame legend, is not millionaire hot seat, who last coached at AFL level in 2013, is planning to take a star-studded team to the other side of the world in a bid to promote the sport to
There it
new
is.
audiences.
There it is.
There's the clickbait. The team is set to include champions of the game, including the recently retired Isaac Smith, Norm Smith medalist, and North Melbourne legend Brent Harvey.
Okay. Well,
Smith-
see, I mean, the thing with this is, I get what this is. They're similar to the NRL going to Las Vegas. They're hyping up a thing for an international market. But the thing is, like, you don't even need retired stars because nobody knows who the fuck they are anyway.
That's right. You just need
You just
ammo
need
footy
anyone.
blokes. Yeah, you need anyone. Sheedy's plan is to play games in an open age masters competition in Croatia and Bali, and the team will be called the Southern Slugs.
For fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, that is the best team name in the fucking world.
But, I mean,
the Slugs.
Why? How have they come up with? I get Bali because they play tournaments and stuff in Bali all the time, and there's a lot of expats and people there. Fucking Croatia.
Well, he gets to that, Corey. He gets to that. I'm glad you asked. I think it's important, this is Sheedy direct quote, I think it's important that we keep looking to develop the game and our coaches. I still have to look at the dates of those trips, but Croatia is definitely the one I am interested in because Croatia has produced some very good players at AFL level.
They haven't.
I think Oleg Markov is Croatian,
think
or
he's-
is he?
I
No,
think-
he's Russian.
I think he's talking about, third generation immigrants.
Who? I'm looking up Croatian AFL players.
Or anyone with like Krapopoulos or well, that's Greek, isn't it?
Yes. VFL AFL Croatian team of the century. Let's have a look here.
Shit, okay.
Apparently someone's done it up on Big Footy, so we'll take it with a
Team
grain
of
of
the
salt.
century.
Let's have a look
Big
at what
Footy's
they've got here.
Not a great source.
Big
for
Footy is not a
anything.
great source, but they have
It's a cesspit.
a proud Croatian has done one up here. Jacob Surgeon was Croatian.
Okay.
John Dorotic.
Okay.
Oh, Glenn Jakovic was Croatian.
Was he?
Technically, yes. Technically, Glenn Jakovic was Croatian. Adrian Baric, Channel 7 alumni.
Fuck,
Croatian.
He's a dickhead.
Alan Didak.
Oh, no, I like that.
No, we like that. We like Alan
that.
Didak. Stephen Salopek. Matthew Richardson. I'm not sure about that.
Hang on.
Is Matthew Richardson Croatian?
Hang on.
That's a metrosexual Australian man.
hang
I'm
on.
sorry. I'm not going to allow Matty Richardson. Matthew Pavlich. I thought he was Greek.
Okay.
There you go. Sam Kekovic.
All right.
You
Yeah.
know, Alan Jakovic, of course. Peter Sumich.
Peter
Sumich.
Jesus Christ.
Tony Modra. This is actually a hell good team.
This is a great team.
This is an all-time team. Jason Ackermanis. We're talking about an all-time best 22 here. Holy shit. Interchange. Ivan Maric, former ruckman for the Richmond Tigers.
Go.
Nick Subin.
Nick Subin. Okay.
Do you remember the joke Freo Doka's Facebook account?
Yes.
He would call him Nick Suburban.
I missed that page. I don't know what happened to that
I missed
page.
that guy too.
So, but the thing is here. Like, this is a really...
Dude, this is a great team.
It's a
this
great
is
team.
stat.
It's a great team, but I mean, his reasoning is so far away from the world of logic.
Yep.
So all of these guys, yes, they're great footy players, but they're great because there was a massive immigration boom in the 60s and 70s from Europe.
This guy on Big Footy has said, he's put out a criterion. The criterion for selection of this team is that a player must have played a minimum one VFA or AFA game and have at least one grandparent that was born in Croatia.
Oh my God, yes.
So it's a bit loose. It's a bit loose.
That's loose. But to have all of those guys have at least one grandparent, the fact that they're Croatians got nothing to do with why they're good at football.
Yes. So
They're zero.
no, either way, I hope that I don't know whether this competition that Sheds is going to be in is going to take any walk-up team from Croatia to play against these people.
Jesus
but
Christ.
can I play in it, Kevin? Can we come
Yeah,
over?
I'd like that.
Yeah, we'll go
have
and
a
play
crack.
over. We'll make a social media stint out of it.
Yeah, just absolutely shirt front Isaac Smith.
Or we'll go to Bali. The tickets will be cheaper
Yeah.
to Bali to fly there.
Yeah, with with
I'll
Dane
line
Swan.
up on Brent Harvey.
Dane Swan goes there once a year and plays in a like a lightning tournament
Yeah.
in Bali, and he
And just-
says it's a lot of fun.
Chops up.
Yeah,
Just
it does.
absolutely chops up.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll call it there. We've gone a good hour
We
30.
will call that. Thank you everybody for listening. We will be back next week.
Have a good one, everybody.
Let me talk to you about sport. I want you to know just how great it is. It's sport. Shin